Hi, I'm Claire, and this is Top 5 Wednesday, books that feature traveling. I was super excited about this topic because I read a lot of science fiction and fantasy, and that tends to include quite a bit of traveling. So let's get into it. First, I want to talk about a series of books that I was really into when I was a teenager, and that is The Bulgarian and the Malorian by David and Lee Eddings. These are two series of 5 books each, they're epic fantasy, and the entire 10 books are pretty much nothing but traveling from place to place to place. The books are pretty damn formulaic. It's the story of a farm boy who gets plucked from his day-to-day life and told that he's the chosen one. I know my mother and I read it at the same time and she could not get into it because it was so unoriginal. But for me at the time, I thought it was really great. I loved all of the characters. It seemed very funny. I think if you haven't read any epic fantasy at all, it's actually a pretty good entry point. Next we have The 13th Child by Patsy Reedy. This is the first in her Frontier Magic trilogy, which I really enjoyed. It's set during the settling of America, and we follow a family who move to the Wild West so that the dad can teach at a college of magic. We follow our protagonist, who is the daughter in that family, from being a young girl to being ready to leave home and going on an expedition to do magical creatures reconnaissance in the Wild West that is as yet uncharted. It's a fantastic book. It's kind of reminiscent of the Little House books, but with magic. And it does this thing that I personally am obsessed with, of treating the magic like a science that needs to be studied. Number 3, the Lifeship Traders trilogy by Robin Hobb. This series follows a family of seafaring merchants who own a ship made of wizard wood. This means the figurehead on the ship is a live sentient being that can think and feel. The novel opens with a dispute over the captainship. The father has died and his daughter Althea wants to become the captain of the ship. Her brother-in-law thinks it's not proper for a woman to be captaining a ship. Althea decides to prove her worth as a sailor so that she can captain the ship. And she does that by adopting one of my very favorite tropes of all time. She dresses up as a man and goes to serve on another ship. It's a wonderful book series, and if you're like me and you enjoy stories about cross-dressing female sailors and pirates, you will love it. Number 4 is the Tamarra series by Naomi Novik. I've talked about these books recently in my Game of Thrones book tag. They are amazing alternate history in which dragons are real and they've been employed in the military for many years. Our hero, Captain Will Lawrence, was a captain in the Navy and he got his hands on a dragon egg by mistake and it hatched, and now he has this dragon called Tamarra. There's a lot of traveling involved in those books because the dragon's egg was meant to be a gift for a foreign dignitary, and so Will and Tamarra now have to travel the world to tell various different people that no offense was meant. Please don't start a war over this, it was an accident. And what's really awesome about this is that in traveling to these different places, we get to see the place that dragons have in society in different countries, and that really makes you feel like travel is actually happening. And finally, we have Blackout and All Clear by Connie Willis. This is a Hugo Award-winning duology that's all about academic time traveling. In those books, time travel is real, but you can't change the past at all, and it's been proven that you can't. So really, the only people that care about it are academics who want to be able to study history more accurately. So we follow a group of historians from Oxford University who are on various different research assignments during World War II. And then of course something goes wrong with time, and all of these people who are on assignments in World War II can't come back to the present day and they're stuck there. And it's the story of how these various people are trying to survive and to figure out how to come back to the present day. It doesn't include a lot of traveling between physical locations, but you really get that idea of the past as a foreign country. So that was my take on this Top 5 Wednesday. I know I kind of cheated with all of these fantasy series instead of one book, but it's fantasy and That's what fantasy writers do. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't put any space travel in there. So if there's any good science fiction that you've read lately, please let me know in the comments below, because clearly I need a refresher. If you'd like to see more from me, you can check out my latest Top 5 Wednesday, which is books I wanted to start yesterday, or check out my original book tag based on the characters in Game of Thrones. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button for more videos from me every week. I've been Claire, thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.